Hello guys, togashira mchirongwa chenyu chamasecret namaconfessions. It's Tandinoitwa Iye Glory. Welcome back to this episode. Tichimborangaridza kuti hatidi vanhu vanoshandisa platform ino kugwa hondo dzenyu, igwai hondo dzenyu kumba kwenyu handitika. Nyaya iyi yakanyorwa nechirungu. Asi nyaya inokusiya uri paedge, inyaya inotyisa. I grew up in a small township outside Masvingo, Zimbabwe. Life was never easy for us. My mother was a single mother raising 3 children on her own. She woke up before sunrise every day, selling vegetables and sometimes washing clothes for people in the neighborhood just so we could go to school. After finishing school, I looked at my mother's tired face and I knew I had to help. Zimbabwe had become too hard. Jobs were scarce and opportunities were more scarce here. Like many other young people, I made the decision to cross the border to South Africa. I remember the day I left, my mother hugged me tightly at the bus rank while she was crying. I arrived in Joburg with nothing. I stayed with friends in a small flat. Sometimes 5 of us shared 2 rooms. I worked cleaning houses, helping at the salon, and sometimes selling clothes. Life was hard, but it was better than home. Then one night, everything changed. My friends invited me to a pub in Sandton. It was my first time going to such a fancy place. The lights were bright, the music was loud, and the people looked like they belonged to another world. This is where I met Chinedu. He was a tall Nigerian man with confidence that filled the room. He wore an expensive suit and drove a car I'd only seen in magazines. When he spoke to me, he was charming, gentle, and attentive. He brought me drinks and listened to me. Within weeks, we were inseparable. He took me to beautiful restaurants and expensive places I'd never imagined existed. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was living the dream I had come to South Africa for. Not long after he proposed, everything happened so fast. Before I could even understand, I was his wife. 1 year later, we moved into a beautiful estate in a leafy, affluent suburb. Those houses were large and quiet, surrounded by trees and high security gates. To the outside world, I looked like a woman who had made it in life. But that house would soon become my prison. The first time I saw his true colors was during the dinner date. We were sitting in a luxurious restaurant. I remember wearing a red dress he brought me. While we were eating, I noticed his face change. Suddenly, his eyes had become cold. He asked me, "What are you looking at?" Then I said nothing. Then he said, "That man is looking at you." I turned slightly and saw a man seated at the next table. I had not even noticed him before. I quickly looked away. I had not seen him. Chinedu said nothing for the rest of the dinner. The drive home was silent. When we arrived at the house, his voice became cold and unfamiliar. "Go to the bedroom." I walked slowly and my heart was beating fast. Then he gave me instructions that made my whole body freeze. He told me to remove my clothes. I was confused but afraid to question him. I slowly did what he said. He switched off the bedroom lights. Then he started beating me. His hands hit my body again and again in the darkness. I cried and begged him to stop, but he kept going. My whole body burned with pain. When he finally stopped, I collapsed on the bed, shaking. My body was sore everywhere. Then he said something that made my heart sink. "I am your husband. I will now take my conjugal rights." He slept with me while I was in pain. I cried silently that night. The next morning, I could barely move. My body was covered in pain. But when I walked into the living room, I saw him standing there smiling as if nothing happened. He handed me a bouquet of flowers. "I'm sorry, my love. You know that I love you too much." And just like that, he pretended everything was normal. But deep inside me, I knew something terrible had begun. The beautiful house behind those gates was no longer a dream. It had become the place where my nightmare lived. After the incident, the violence slowly became a pattern. At first, he apologized every time. He bought me expensive gifts, took me to luxury restaurants, acted as a perfect husband in public, but behind the closed doors of the estate, the abuse became worse. I began to live in constant fear, afraid to look at people, afraid to speak too much, afraid to do anything that might anger him. Eventually, I realized I was completely trapped. He controlled the money, my phone, and even who I spoke to. After the first beating, I told myself it will never happen again. Anyone looking at us would think I was the luckiest woman alive. But inside my body, every bone was painful. For a few weeks, things seemed normal again. He took me to restaurants in Sandton, bought me expensive dresses, and posted pictures of us on social media. People commented, couple goals, but they had no idea. The second beating came over something small. One afternoon, I answered a phone call from an unknown number. It was a delivery man asking for directions to the house. When Chinedu came home that evening, he asked who had called him. When I told him, his face changed immediately. Why is that man calling you? Before I could even finish speaking, he slapped me so hard. I fell against the couch. That night, the beating was worse than the first one. I cried silently in the bathroom floor long after he had gone to sleep. But the worst part was not the beatings. It was the secrets. Our house in the estate was big and beautiful, but some rooms were always locked. Chinedu kept a private office that he never allowed me to enter. Sometimes men would come to the house late at night. They drove expensive cars and wore serious expressions. They spoke in low voices, sometimes in languages I did not understand. Whenever they arrived, Chinedu would tell me one thing: go to the bedroom and do not come out. At first, I obeyed without asking questions, but curiosity started growing inside me. One night, something strange happened. It was around midnight when I heard voices downstairs. I quietly stepped out of the bedroom and walked toward the staircase. The house was dark, except for the light coming from his office. I could hear Chinedu talking to another man. Their voices were tense. One said, "You promised the last one would bring more." The other man said, "Things take time." Then Chinedu also replied. Suddenly, I heard footsteps moving towards the office door. I ran back to the room and pretended to be asleep. The next day, curiosity ate me. I had to know what was going on. Later that afternoon, Chinedu left the house saying he had a meeting in Pretoria. For the first time, I walked towards his office. The door was locked, but something strange caught my attention. The window at the side of the house outside was slightly open. My heart was pounding as I climbed through it. Inside the office, the air felt cold and heavy. The room smelled like incense. On the large wooden desk were stacks of money and several documents. But what made my stomach turn were the other things on the table. Small black candles, strange powders in small bowls, animal bones, and photographs. Photographs of women, many women. I picked one. My hands started shaking. The woman in the picture looked young, just like me. Behind the photo was writing in red ink, 2019. My chest tightened. I picked another one, another young woman, another date, 2021. Then I saw something that made my blood run cold. One photograph had a red cross drawn across the woman's face. At that moment, that office door suddenly opened. I froze. Chinedu stood in the doorway staring at me. His eyes were darker than I'd ever seen them before. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then he slowly closed the door behind me and said, "What are you doing here?" My heart was beating so loudly I could hear it in my ears. I told him I was just cleaning. His face turned into a smile, but it was not the smile I used to love. It was something much colder. He stepped closer. Then he said, "You are starting to ask too many questions." That night was the worst beating I've ever received. As I lay on the floor in pain, one terrifying thought kept beating in my mind. Those women in the photographs. What happened to them? And deep down, I began to wonder something even more frightening. After that night in the office, something inside me changed. The beatings did not stop. In fact, they became more frequent. Sometimes it was because I asked a question. Sometimes it was because I looked sad. Sometimes it was for no reason at all. But the worst part was not the pain. It was the fear. The photographs of those women would not leave my mind. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw their faces, young, beautiful, and smiling, just like I used to be when I first met Chinedu. I started paying closer attention to everything happening in the house. Chinedu had become more secretive. His phone was always locked. He started coming home very late at night. Sometimes it smelled like smoke and sometimes like strange herbs. One evening, while cleaning the living room, I overheard him speaking on the phone in the kitchen. His voice was very low and serious. He said the next ritual must happen soon. Then, ritual. A girl is already here. Everything is prepared. My heart began to race. The girl, was he talking about me? That night, I could not sleep. Around midnight, I heard the gate outside open. I carefully looked through the bedroom window and saw two black cars entering the driveway. Three men stepped out. They were dressed in dark clothes and carried bags. My stomach twisted in fear. I quietly opened the bedroom door and walked slowly to the staircase. The house was dark, but I could see candles glowing from the direction of Chinedu's office, the same room I'd entered before. I moved closer and stopped behind the wall. Their voices were clear this time. One said, "This one must be stronger. The previous one was weak." So the women in the photographs were real and they were gone. Suddenly, Chinedu said, "Tomorrow night, everything will be finished." My whole body went cold. I ran back to the room before they could see me. For the rest of the night, I sat on the bed shaking. For the first time since coming to South Africa, I thought about my mother. A tired face, a voice at the bus rank when I left Zimbabwe. Tears rolled down my face. Was this the life I had come for? A beautiful prison, a violent husband, and now possibly a ritual that could take my life. No, I realized something in that moment. If I stayed in this house, I would die. The next morning, Chinedu acted normal again. He kissed my cheek before leaving. He said he was going to come home earlier that night. I thought to myself, the ritual was going to happen. As soon as his car left, I ran to the bedroom and grabbed the small bag where I kept my passport and little money I'd secretly saved. I knew I had only one chance. The security gate at the estate was far from the house. I walked outside trying to look calm, but as I reached the driveway, something made my heart stop. One of Chinedu's car was still parked there, and inside it sat one of the men I'd seen the night before. He was watching me. He stepped out of the car and asked, "Where are you going, madam?" My throat went dry. In that moment, I realized something terrifying. Chinedu had only locked me inside the house. He had placed someone to watch me. And the ritual night was that day. My heart was beating so loud. His eyes were cold and watchful. I forced a small smile. I said, "I just wanted to go for a walk." He stared at me for a few seconds that felt like hours. Then he slowly shook his head. "Madam, stay inside the house." Something inside my chest sank. They were watching me. I slowly turned around and walked back into the house, my legs trembling. The moment I reached the bedroom, I collapsed on the bed and began to cry quietly. Tonight, they were planning something terrible. I had no way out. For hours, I sat there thinking about my life, about my mother, about Zimbabwe. Then suddenly, a memory came into my mind. Before I left home, my mother had taken me to visit an elderly church woman in our village. People call her Mairudo. She was known for praying for people before they traveled. I remember how she had held my hands that day and prayed deeply. Before I left, she had given me a small blue Bible and say, "Keep this wherever you go." I had completely forgotten about it. My heart started beating again. I quickly opened my old suitcase at the bottom of the wardrobe and searched in my clothes. And there it was, the small blue Bible. My hands were shaking as I opened it. Inside it was a tiny wooden cross and a folded piece of paper with the words written in Shona. It was a prayer. At that moment, something strange happened. For the first time in months, I felt a small sense of peace. I sat on the floor and began to pray quietly. Outside, the sky was becoming dark. Night was coming, and with it, the ritual. Around 8 p.m., I heard the cars arriving again. Voices filled the house, heavy footsteps moving through the hallway. Then Chinedu's voice called me. "My wife!" My body froze. "Come to the office." My body froze. My legs felt as weak as I walked down the corridor. The office door was open. Inside the room where the candles were burning, the same black candles I'd seen before. The men were standing around the table. The air smelled of incense or something bitter. Chinedu looked at me with a strange smile and said, "You looked beautiful." I said nothing, and he continued saying our lives would change forever. My heart pounded inside my chest. One of the men placed the bowl in the table. Inside was a dark liquid. Another man began chanting softly. Fear wrapped around me like cold chains, but in my hand I was secretly holding the small blue Bible. I began whispering the prayer my Rudo had written. Quietly, over and over again, suddenly something unexpected happened. A loud crash came outside the house. Everyone in the room turned. Another crash followed. The men started shouting, "What is happening?" The security alarm began screaming throughout the house. Through the window, I could see flashing lights, police cars. My heart jumped. The men began panicking. Chinedu grabbed his phone, shouting on the other side. At that moment, I realized something. Someone had reported him. The men started grabbing their bags and blowing out the candle. Chaos filled the house, and in that confusion, I ran. I ran out of the office through the living room and straight towards the front door. My heart was racing as I reached the gate outside. Security guards were speaking to the police officer. One of the police saw me running towards them and asked me, "Are you okay?" I could not speak. I just said yes through the tears. Behind me, inside the mansion, I could hear shouting as the police entered the house. That night changed everything. Later, while sitting at the police station, as I was wrapped in a small blanket, holding that blue Bible, it was an unknown number from Zimbabwe. When I answered it, a soft, familiar voice spoke, "My daughter." My heart nearly stopped. It was my Rudo. I had a dream about you last night, a very dark dream. So I prayed and I called someone I know in Joburg. Tears streamed down my face. "God has protected you," she said. And at that moment, I understood something. Thousands of kilometers away, in a small village in Zimbabwe, someone had been fighting for me in prayer. And that was the reason I was still alive. I spent the night at the police station, wrapped in a grey blanket, my body still aching from the beatings and my mind full of questions. The biggest question was the one that had haunted me since the day I entered Chinedu's office. Who were the women in those photographs? The next morning, a female police came to speak to me. She looked kind, but her face was serious. "We need you to tell us everything." So I told her. I told her about the beatings. I told her about the locked rooms, about the strange rituals, about the photographs. Her expression slowly changed as I spoke. When I finished, she nodded quietly. "There's something you need to see," she said. She led me to another office where two detectives were sitting. One of them placed a large brown file on the table. Inside were photographs, the same photographs of the ladies I'd seen in Chinedu's office. My stomach turned. Those women have been reported missing over the past several years. "Missing," I whispered to myself. She nodded. "Most of them were foreign nationals, women who came to South Africa." Tears filled my eyes. "Just like me," she continued speaking. "Your husband is suspected of being involved in an organized criminal network." I felt my chest tighten. What kind of network? I asked myself. The room became quiet. "Rituals, crime, and financial fraud," the detective said. My hands began to tremble. He pointed to one of the photographs. "This woman disappeared in 2019. Another photograph. This one in 2021. She looked directly at me. "We were supposed to be the next one." The words hit me like a heavy stone. For a moment, I could not breathe. All those women, all those faces, they've been brought into his life the same way I had. Charm, money, marriage, then silence. A cold shiver ran down my spine. "Did they?" I could not even finish the sentence. The detective spoke softly. "We are still investigating, but we believe some of them were victims of ritual practices used by the criminal groups who believes it brings wealth." Tears rolled down my cheeks. I remembered the candles, the bones, the dark liquid, the chanting. I've been one step away from being another photograph in that office, another missing person, another forgotten story. The female officer gently touched my arm. "You are lucky." But deep down, I knew something. It was more than lucky. I remembered the wooden cross in my hand that night. I remember the prayer for my Rudo. I remember the moment the police cars arrived just before the ritual began. Someone has been fighting for me. Days later, I was taken back to the estate to collect my few belongings. That house was being sieged. Walking into that mansion again made my skin crawl. But this time, I was not alone. Police officers filled the room. One officer opened Chinedu's office and called me inside. The table where the candles once stood was now covered with evidence bags, but something was different. The photographs were gone. The officer looked at me. They've been taken as evidence. I nodded slowly. As I walked out of that house for the final time, I looked back at the large gates that once looked like the entrance to a dream. Now I knew the truth. Behind those gates lived a monster, and I survived him. Later that week, I called my mother in Zimbabwe. When she heard my voice, she began crying. My daughter. Yes, Mama, I replied softly. I'm coming home. For the first in a long time, I was finally free. To all my sisters who are going through a lot, to all my sisters who are going through abuse, there is hope. Chimwe chandoda kuti muzive ndechekuti vanamai vedu vanotinamatira zuva nezuva. Every morning vanomuka vachitinamatira. Isu tingakangamwa, isu tinganakirwa nenyika, tigodii. Asi havaregi kutinamatira. And zvinondibata because I always ask myself, it's stories like this that reminds me of who I am. But I'm what I am today because of my grandma. I'm what I am today because of my mother. I know kuti every day vanomuka vachitinamatira. And I know it's the same story with you. Our parents, they pray for us each and every day.
Thank you, Diaspora Insurance. You've done us proud. You've done our dad proud. And I recommend everybody to come to Diaspora Insurance.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For what you've done for my dad. It was a beautiful send-off.
Diaspora Insurance, peace of mind guaranteed.
Ndanga ndiri kukumbira kuti mumbondibetserawo. Ndine situation yandiri mukati mandiri izvezvi. Ndiri mukadzi ane makore 32. Ndiri kukwanisa 33 this year. Ndakagarisana nababa vemwana. Ndakasvika pakugarisana nababa ava tikaita pambiri. Ndikasununguka mwana wangu musikana. Tane 8 years tichigara tose. Dzimwe nguva tinomboseparata umwe neumwe achienda achinogara kwake, munhu achizouya achikumbira uregerero. Ndiri kukwanisa 33 this year. Ndakagarisana nababa vemwana. Ndakasvika pakugarisana nababa ava tikaita pambiri. Ndikasununguka mwana wangu musikana. Tane 8 years tichigara tose. Dzimwe nguva tinomboseparata umwe neumwe achienda achinogara kwake, munhu achizouya achikumbira uregerero, ndodzokerana naye. Asi pa8 years dzose apa handina kuona change pamurume uyu. Dambudziko riri pamurume uyu nderekuti haachengeti mhuri, haakupi mari, school fees yemwana anonetsa kubhadhara. Ndotanga ndabvunza kuti mwedzi kana uchinge wapera mwana ari kuda school fees. Rent kana mwedzi wapera ndotoita zvekubvunza kuti mari rent. Mukugara kwatiri kuita tete, murume uyu anomwa hwahwa, anosvuta mbanje. Dambudziko riripo nderekuti the other time, I think 2 years back, anga adaidza munin'ina wake kubva kuZimbabwe. Akasvikira mumaoko medu kwatiri kugara. Ndogara kuBotswana. Ndikatanga kuchengeta munin'ina wake achigara pamba pedu patiri kugara ipapo, vachimirira kuti vazomutsvakira basa akwanise kuenda kubasa. Tikabva tanetsana nemurume ndichimubvunza kuti ini ndiri kuenda kubasa kwandinoshanda as a maid, iye wanoenda kubasa ndidrive wematrack emajecha. Ndichimuti ko iwe ugoenda kubasa sei uchisiya munin'ina wako mumba? Ini ndoswera ndisipo mumba musina chikafu, anosara achidyei. Takanetsana paya tikambonyaradzana. Ndikaona futi zvichidzokorora, ndikaramba ndichimubvunza ndikati, kana iwewe usingadi kuti munin'ina wako agare panapa, wakadii kuita plan yekuti munin'ina abve, kana kuti chimutsvakira basa at least akwanise anozvigarira pake ega. Tikanetsana musiwo munin'ina wacho aivapo, ndopaakasimudza bhodhoro rehwahwa reBlack Label akandirova panzeve naro. Ndakashingirira ropa richibuda, akandirova nzeve ikatsemuka. Rimwe bhodhoro rakapwanyika, rakasvika rikarova mwana padama nepakati panhova. Mwana akangoti tsemukei mbichana, asi pakabuda ropa padama apa pachitoerera. Hana chaakaita, akangonditi mashoko akangondiudza ndekuti ndamama. Ndakasvika pakupeka zvinhu zvangu kuti ndikwanise ndigadzire ndiende kuchipatara ndikakumbira vanhu vataigarisana navo kuti vandibetserewo nditsvakirewo mota ndoda kuenda kuchipatara because ndanga ndakunzwa kupera simba because ndairasa ropa rakawanda. Haana chaakandibetsera nacho, naiye akabva atiza panguva iyoyo. Ndikasara nevandaigarisana navo vakatanga kutsvaka motikari. Pandakapedzera kuziva ndepekuti ndakapinda motikari zveshuwa ndega inini mwana wangu, but kuzoti motikari yakasimuka sei handizivi. Ndakazonumukira ndava kuchipatara, ndikasonwa, ndikakwaniswa kuiswa padrip kudzimara ndarikavha. Ndikaenda kuvabereki vangu, ndina vamwe mainini vangu vari muno. Ndaida ikoko ndikagara 2 days kuti ndirikavhe. Ndakadzoka kubasa kwandaishanda ndikagara kwenguva yakati rebei. Ndakagara dzinenge 3 months tisingaonani nababa vemwana. Ndikatomboendera nyaya kumaporisa. Ndanzwa mwoyo wangu futi kurwadza ndikati munhu uyu ndichiri kumuda asi kuti ndimusungise hazviiti. Ndikadzokerana naye. Ndainge ndaona kuti handikwanisi kuchengeta mwana ndiri 1. Ina handina vabereki vese vakashaya plus ndaida munhu anondibetsera kuchengeta mwana. Ndine mwana 1 musikana. Takadzokerana. Taiti kana tikanetsana mumba mashoko anonditaura ndekuti paya wakapotsa rufu. Aitotaura kuti paya ndakapotsa waitofanira kufa. Ndomashoko anogara achinditaura achingondithreatena. Haadi kuchengeta mhuri yake, hapi munhu mari nguva zhinji, nguva yose kutenga chikafu chaiko haadi. Kana kaenda kubasa habvisi hembe kana mburukwa chero. Hakururi nekuti mari inenge irimo. Kana asina mari ndipo paanozobvisa bhurukwa. Dambudziko ripapa nderekuti last year wese kubva January kusvika muna March ndichienda kubasa ndichibva ndazosiya basa tanga tatoseparata. Ndakagara January kusvika May ndichigara ndega iye asipo nekuti ndakabuda kumba uko tarwisana futi achiti anoda kundibata nescrewdriver. Takatorwa ndopaakanditi paya ndakapotsa paya nekuti aida kundibaya pakati pemusoro. Ndopandakabva ndatama futi ndikabva pari ndikatanga kugara ndega chigara pabasa nemwana wangu ndichienda kubasa ndichishanda. Basa rakazoti rapera ndikakumbira futi ruregerero ndikadzokerana naye last year. Ndakadzokerana naye muna June kusvika basa rangu rapera muna May. Ndikagara naye. Mukugara imomo iye aenda kubasa chikafu anga asingatengi aitenga paanodira. Iye kana achida anotenga chikafu. Kana asingadi mumba kana musina chikafu aitenga matekaway. Auya ozodyira mumba matekere imomo ari ega nemwana tisingatyi. Ndaigara ndakanyarara. Ndanga ndisingabvunzi nekuti ndanga ndaneta nekuramba ndichitaura. Ndaingomutarisa kana adawo ndopaanoita kana ukamuti chikafu chemwana chekutogora chikoro kana achida aitenga kana asingada aingonyara osimuka unotengawo wake. Haana chaanotaura. Zvaindirwadza mwoyo wangu kusvika pakutsemuka. Makore ese atagara 8 years ndo unhu wake. Marriage ndinoida. Ndakashingira kusvika pari zvino tete. December ndakabva ndadzokera pabasa. Iye akabva adzokerawo pabasa pake. Anoti kana asina mari anoti ngatironge pamwe chete semhuri. Kana ane mari haambouye achidaidzira kuti nhasi mari yandashanda ndiyo todi nayo tise musoro pamwe chete. Haiti izvozvo. Asi kana asina mari anouya okutaura kuti saka ngationesane kuti toita sei. Iye zvino December ndakadzokera pabasa. Iye akaendawo kubasa kwake. December achishanda aimwa hwawa. Ndichimubvunza mari yerent muna December yanga isati yabhadhagwa achiramba akanyarara. Musi ndanga ndakutogara kubasa ipo paya because ndakatonotsvaka basa restay in ndichigara nemwana. Ndokubva ndati musi ndaenda kumba ndikabva ndanoka door harina kuvhura. Ndikasvika ndikaita zvekurova door ndokusvika munhu akarara ari mumba. Mari akaiwaridza pasofa. Ndomubvunza kuti ko kutaura kuti hauna mari ko mari iyi wane. Akambotanga achiti ndeyangu. Ndikarwisana naye paya ndikati kana izvezvi landlord ari kundinetsera mari rent. Rent ikufanira kuti ibhadhara. Takarwisana paya akandibata akandidzipa. Ndopandakamutaura kuti naiwe ndozvaunoita here kana ndichibvunza mari rent. Ndipo paakandiregedza. Paakazondipa mari iya kubva last year kungonorara kamwe chete kumba. Mudziyo yangu anopwanya. Ndanga ndakatenga microwave yangu neair fryer yangu ndichidzokera kumba muna January ndichiti regai ndipo cleaner kumba. Ndakasvika mudziyo yangu usingashandi. Kumubvunza kuti mudziyo yangu hana chaanopindura anongotaura kuti hapana chandosiwa. Kubva musiyo ndakaora moyo tete. Muna January pandakadzokera kumba ndichinocleaner ndakadzoka kunoku ndichiti since neumo wangu ndiri pabasa munoziva murume agara anoda zvebonde. Ndoya kumba tosanganawo semukadzi nemurume. Kana ndikakundikana anokupa mashoko anokutuka. Nyangwe mangopedza kusangana anokutuka. Indaigara ndakanyarara. Ndokumubvunza kuti saka unonditukirei ini ndisina chandakutadzira. Anoramba akanyarara. Tete ndikadzoka kubasa akatanga kundisendera maaudio achinditukira kuti January kureva iro gore rinoiri hanzi harisviki pasina vaviri vafa, which means kuti handizivi aireva inini here kana kuti ini nemwana tiri pamwe chete. Ndo mashoko akataura izvozvo. Zvakandioresa mwoyo, handina kumbobvira ndadzokera kumba kusvika nanhasi ndigere kubasa. Mukugara kwandiri kuita kubasa, ndine vamwe baba vandakasanganawo navo vane vana vavo 3. Vakandinyenga neniwo ndikabvuma, tikafambidzana. Nanhasi tichiri kufambidzana. Asi ndoda kukumbirawo kuti mundibatsirawo. Tinokomunicata, munhu uyu ari kuSouth Africa, ari kugara nemukadzi wake, havachawirirani. Mukadzi anoramba kugadzira vana kuenda kuchikoro, haachengeti vana, mumba haaclean habike. Murume anobva kubasa achisvika achiita zvose. So anga ari kuti mukadzi ndimusiye kana kuti ndomuti aende kumba. Vana manje anenge achiitira vana kuti saka vana vanosara nani because iye anoenda kubasa. So main reason iripo ndeyekuti mukadzi ari kuramba kurambwa. Ndopakanditaura kuti iwe kana uri willing unobvuma kuuya kuno timbogara ndozoenda kumba kwenyu ndonokubvisira. Ndiri kutoda asi nangu tete ndisingazivi unhu hwemunhu kuti hunenge hwakaita sei. Kana tichitaura ari kuratidza kuti munhu ane future. Ini ndakamuka. Tete ndiri kukumbira kuti mundibetserewo. Mumbondipawo madecision. Iye zvino ndaneta, handichambozivi kana kwekuenda kana pekutangira. Kana mudziyo yangu nanhasi ndaisiya ikoko, handisati ndatakura kana chii. Chandisiri kuita ndechekuti handidi kuenda kumba ndosaka ndigere pabasa. Ndiri kukumbira kuti mundibetserewo, mundipewo decision. Ndatambura, handichazivi kana kwekuenda kana kuti ndovimba nezvipi. Ndokumbirawo rubetsero. Alright, Heidi, there's a lot that is happening here. Chekutanga ndechekuti this guy, your husband, kana handizi kuti vakabvisa mari kana kuti havana, asi baba vemwana vamune 8 years now, is a very toxic man. For the past 8 years, we've stayed with this man. And hapana chachinja, like you said, kuti hachinji, anokutorera bhodhoro. Ndaravadzwa pamatara kuti akatora bhodhoro, akakucheka, akarova nzeve, rikarova mwana. Ipapa ndopamakutokanganisa. Ukangoona usangane murume asingarespecti mwana wako wakazvara, pane problem. Because ndoziva kuti vana baba, most of us as parents, we wish the best for our children. Totoshauti, kuchikoro zvikanzi kodiwa penzura, totomanya, kodiwa bhuku, totomanya. Asi ava baba vari abusive. Ende vataura kuti gore reri kuchafa munhu. He is not sorry. Pekutanga ndoda kuti Heidi, kana kuri kuti uchazofunga zvekudzokera kana ukanyengedzewa, funga mashoko angu. Chekutanga ndechekuti ati after akurova, pinda mota mukasvika pakolapsa nokuti ropa rabuda rakawanda. You never said sorry. But you found yourself coming back. Pane zvepamatara pamati handina vabereki. Guys, munoziva here kuti kana wangokura, kana wangu wamuna nema 20 something, ma 30 something, wakutongoita zvemba yako, kudzokera kuumba hakubudi. Chero vabereki variko, ini vangu variko, but I don't picture myself staying with them. And hazvitombobudi. Because you need a way of seeing things. Anditi, ini ndine zvibudi, never. Saka, pose patinonyora nyaya dzedu ngatirege kuti tiri nherera, because 40-year-old nherera. Aiwa, nherera mwana ane 8 years, ngatibobvuma ipapo. Anditika, saka kudzokera kumba it's actually out. Anditi, ngatizvisiye izvi. But ndiri kudzoka pakuti, Heidi, ndokumbirawo kuti muite so. Don't go back to this man. I need you to start working for yourself as you are doing and concentrate on yourself. Uyu murume wekuSouth Africa hatizivi nezvake. Varume vazhinji vanotaura kuti hadi kugadzira vana, hadi kudii, ari kuramba kurambiwa. Kana munhu usachanyatso kumuda cheko unonzi kwa anoramba kurambiwa. Aiwa, relationship yenyu yekuSouth Africa ngatimboiisai papause. The most important person right now is you and your well-being nemwana. Ndokumbira kuti take care of the child. Ndokumbira kuti musarega basa muchiuya kuSouth Africa kune mufesi. South Africa kwakaoma. South Africa kune ma-challenges eko kana usingazivi zvokuti nazoita, especially futi hamusati mambouya kuSouth Africa, nditi mukuti mugara kuBotswana. Kana magara mune basa kuBotswana, chengetedzai basa, muchengetedze mwana. Murume uyu wema-screwdriver, he's a very toxic man. I wish anofanira kuwana counseling because he's angry. Munhu wekuti unoti tenga chikafu, koko pakuzoti kwai anodla chikafu, anodla machips, anotenga take away, odla makatarisa. Murume uyu ndokumbira kuti musiyana naye. The most important thing right now is you and the baby. Rambai muchishanda kubasa. Handitika kumurume musadzokera airfryer nemicrowave. Aiwa, totenga zvinhu. Ndokumbirawo. Your life is worth more than airfryer. Hi auntie, please post for me. Makaviga chitupa. I need advice. Ndiri mukadzi ane 24. So nyaya yangu yakamira yakadai. 2024 ndakada nemwe mukomana. So nemunhu taitowirirana zvekudaro. Ende ndaimutrasta zvisingaite. Then 2025 in April takazotanga kurara tese tisina kudzivirira. But kumashure kwesoko taidzira. So kubva ipapo patanga tisingadziviriri. Ndo pandakatanga kungorwara nichibuda maronda muviri wese ndikaenda kuchipatara. Ma-HIV test akaitwa ndikatonza handina chirwere. Saka maronda akazopera, ndaingorwara nezvirwere zvakawanda. But kuchipatara ndainzi hauna HIV. Then November ndakazorora futi ndikabva ndabatwa HIV iya. So I was like, doctor, regai ndinoita futi matest somewhere tione kuti chokwadi here sezvo aisabuda zviri clear maresults acho. So ndakazoenda kumwe zvikabuda zvisiri clear zvekare. KT3 ndikaenda kumwe futi akazobuda ari clear achiti ndine HIV. So the guy pandakamuudza kuti wakandipa chirwere and why usina kutaura akabva atotanga kundiignore. Then ndobva ndamusiya. January from there hatina kuzotaura futi. So now handisati ndanotorwa ropa kuchipatara but ndamune imwe relationship and the guy ari serious akuda kuroora. Apa handisati ndava sure kuti chirwere chacho chiripo here o handina cause iye haana, saka ndiri kushaya kuziva kuti ndomuudza here zviripo. Ndombomira ndotanga ndaona maresults cause ndandichifunga kumuudza kuitira kuti ndikanzi ndinacho anobva agara achiziva. Plus imwe nyaya iri kuitika kuti ndide kumuudza ndisati ndasure it's because handisi kuwana time yekubuda pabasa kuti ndinotorwa ropa kuchipatara. Ende zvinoita here kuti munhu asina chirwere aroore munhu anacho. So ndiri kuda advice please cause nguva iri kufamba ndakangonyarara nditori confused nekuti ndikazonzi ndinacho handizivi kuti achareacta sei. Heidi, you said you are 24, hey? You are very young. I'm sorry for that. Kune vane ma 24 and below, those who are single, I hope you are listening to this. I don't know kuti what shall it benefit you kuti muite bonde nemunhu then muita 5 seconds or 5 minutes idzodzo then it will cost you the entire life. Apa uri 24, I think like she's single, she's not yet married. Kune vakateerera handiti vasiri ID. I don't want you to overthink right now. Stop overthinking. Saka ndichaita sei, saka what if no unotoita stress. Zvinoita kuti munhu aroorwe nemunhu ari HIV positive mumwe ari negative. Zvinoita. It's possible. Kune mafamilies akawanda even vamwe vari kuona pano vachapindura kuti ndo masituation atinawo. Asi ndoda kuti also like you said kuti you want to go munoita matest right now. Can you go again and do the test so that you are sure? Then you tell him and then he makes his decision. Kuti anokuda here kana kuti hadi. Then you take it from there. Don't be over pressurized. Don't be pressurized. Anditi ndinokutendai nekuona chirongwa kwamaita Mwari akuitire zvakanaka. Rongoramba ndingokurangaridzai kuti please follow us on Facebook. Facebook tinenge tichiposta mavideo akare so that we also catch up anditi. Asi neiko zvino futi tinenge tichipostawo zvakare. Thank you guys for watching. Mwari akuitire zvakanaka. Ndatenda. Bye bye.